If we're going to use the assets folder for something other than database dumps, then we should create a subfolder within assets called database so we know which files are associated with it. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the folder and create a new folder called database, and I'm going to move the SQL dumps into there. Let's jump back to the command line, and just so that we're back to where we began, let's go ahead and go back into our production site with loc git site production.com. Okay, now after we downloaded our SQL files and copied them over into the development site in the assets folder, now we need to go ahead and add them to version control. So I'm going to go over to the development command line and clear the back scroll. And let's go ahead and create a feature branch for these changes. Now in the real world, there might be a number of other assets, so it might make sense to pull out any commits to this folder into a feature branch to prepare things and then pull it back into the develop branch. So first, let's go ahead and create our new branch. I'm going to do git checkout, pass it the B parameter to create the branch, and we'll call this feature site assets. Okay, we switched over to the new branch. Now let's go ahead and do a git status to take a look at our changes. So we have the assets folder. It's not being tracked yet. It's not in the staging area. So let's add it in with git add and then the name of the folder. And now if we do git status again, we see that our htaccess file and our two SQL files have been added to staging. And now let's do a commit. Now if you're using these dumps in order to link them up with specific versions of the code base, then you may want to mention the version that this database dump is associated with. So we're using git commit, and then the message is added initial exports of database schema and data for version 1.4.1. So that way, as we either update our environment or set up a new environment, we know what code base that this database belongs to. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Now at this point, you may have some additional assets that you want to add in. And if you're using this on a real project, go ahead and do that. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and merge this feature branch back into the main develop branch. So I'm going to go ahead and check out the develop branch first, git checkout develop. And now let's go ahead and do our merge. We're going to do git merge noff in order to provide some history that this merge took place, and then pass it the name of the branch, which is feature site assets. I'm going to hit enter. And now that we've merged in our changes, we can go ahead and delete this branch with git branch D and then the name of the branch, which is feature site assets. I'm going to hit enter, and now we're deleted. Now, if we wanted to sync up with our remote site, we would want to do a git push at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, now we're all set.